One face on the television slowly transformed into his dead sister Emily. A soaking wet version of Emily appeared silently inside the kitchen doorway. By the third day, military sirens echoed somewhere beyond the city streets. A child outside the apartment begged Daniel to open the door for help. Long black fingers crawled underneath the apartment door searching for him. That night, Daniel dreamed of thousands of people staring down from every window. When Daniel woke up, his apartment door was standing wide open. A smiling creature wearing Daniel's exact face slowly stepped out of the darkness. The creature whispered softly, "We can wear you now." On the fifth day, the entire city suddenly became completely silent. Then dozens of handprints appeared slowly across the apartment window. Outside, hundreds of twisted people clung upside down to the building walls. The creatures smashed through the window and flooded silently into the apartment. Military searchlights and gunfire suddenly filled the room with chaos and screaming. And somewhere in the darkness, the smiling entities were still watching humanity. At 3:02 a.m., heavy footsteps echoed from the empty apartment upstairs. A radio broadcast warned survivors not to trust familiar voices or faces. Then Daniel noticed a shadow moving silently inside his own apartment. The bathroom door creaked open even though nobody was inside. Wet footprints suddenly appeared, leading out from the empty bathtub. Morning never arrived, and the city outside remained trapped in darkness. Whispers inside the walls begged Daniel to look outside just once. Then something knocked directly on the bedroom window 14 floors above ground. The tall figure outside pointed one long finger directly toward Daniel. The next night, Daniel finally stepped into the silent apartment hallway. The hallway numbers repeated over and over like a broken nightmare. Near the elevator stood a woman facing the wall, completely motionless. Her head twisted backward slowly, revealing a blank face without eyes or mouth. Daniel ran back inside as violent pounding exploded against his apartment door. Then the television turned on by itself, showing hundreds of smiling faces. Daniel Carter almost ignored the emergency alert that appeared at exactly 11:43 p.m. The television suddenly glitched, and a piercing emergency tone screamed through the room. The message was simple: do not look outside under any circumstances. Then distant screams echoed somewhere far below the empty city streets. Daniel slowly walked toward the curtains, trying to see what was happening outside. Before touching the curtain, his phone rang from an unknown number. A whisper answered the call, "Don't look outside." Minutes later, someone knocked slowly at the apartment door. The voice outside sounded exactly like Daniel's mother begging for help. Daniel looked through the peephole and saw a single unblinking eye staring back. The voice suddenly changed into something deep, wet, and completely inhuman. At 1:15 a.m., the power across the entire building suddenly failed. Then scratching noises began coming from outside the 14th floor window. A familiar voice whispered from beyond the curtain, his dead sister Emily. The crying outside slowly transformed into sharp and inhuman laughter.